Happy Thursday. This is your warm up for today. So today's workout is going to be a little bit different. You're going to have to do some measuring, but we'll go over that because I know that whenever you pulled it up for the first time, you were probably thinking, I don't know what all this means. That's okay. That's why I'm here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the warm-up, and we're going to do 5 Cobra Down Dog touches, okay? So you're going to walk it out, hips to the floor. You're just going to pause for a second. Then you're going to push it back into a down dog, pause for a second, and then you're trying to reach opposite arm to opposite toe. So my right arm is trying to touch my left foot. And again, then I'm going to walk it back in. That's 1. We're going to do 4 more. So walk it out. Hips to the floor, just pause. Then you're going to push it back into a down dog, pause. Then you're trying to touch opposite arm to opposite toe. Walk it back in. All right, once you've done 5, the next movement is bird dogs, okay? So you can do them in a plank position. Sorry, I'm trying to fit my whole body into the screen, but I'm very, very long, so it makes it very difficult to stay in the camera view. Okay, so you can go into a plank position, or you can go to hands and knees. I'll try to scoot up a little bit. So what you're trying to do is you're going to try to brace your core, so pulling your stomach towards your spine so that nice and flat back. You're going to keep your shoulder underneath your hand, and you're going to raise opposite arm, opposite leg, and extend. Just hold for a count of 3, and then switch sides. Okay, so like I said, again, you can go into a plank position and do this. I'm just trying to stay inside somewhat of a camera view, so I'm going to go to hands and knees. So you're working on length while doing these. Once you've done 5, we're going to flip over on our back and do 5 per side dead bug holds. Okay, so you're going to lay on your back, arms are going to be directly above the shoulders, knees are going to be at a 90. Okay, so from here, you want to think about trying to lift just a little bit through the shoulders. So trying to bring my shoulders up towards the ceiling. From here, you're going to extend opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay, so my right arm goes back, my left leg is going to go forward. Okay, but I'm keeping those shoulders off the ground, so I'm maintaining that crunch position. Okay, so you're going to pause, then bring it back to center. Extend opposite arm, opposite leg, pause, bring it back to center. That's 1. We're going to do 4 more. Okay, when you've done that, the next thing we're going to do is what's called a glute bridge walkout, and we're going to do 10 walkouts. So you'll stay laying on your shoulders, on your back. Okay, from here you can use your hands if you need to, okay, to kind of help leverage your hips up. Okay, so you're going to push your hips up towards the ceiling. Okay, you're going to lift your toes and then walk your legs out as far as you can while continuing to lift, and then bring it back in. So there's 1, 2, 3, Once you've done the glute bridge walkouts, once you've done 10, we're going to lay on the ground and we're going to hold a supine twist for about 30 seconds per side. So you're going to lay flat on the ground, take one leg, you're going to rotate it over, other arm is going to open up and just hold. And switch sides. into a happy baby, okay, position. So this is going to be an inner thigh, hip stretch. So you'll want to lay flat on your back. Okay, so from here, legs are going to go in your squat stance. I like to reach on the outside of the feet. You can reach on the inside of the feet. I prefer to reach on the outside of the feet. So the knees are going to be down here by the ribs. That's the goal. And you're trying to get your tailbone back here to lay flat on the floor. And we're just going to hold, okay? Try to relax in it. And rest. Okay, next thing we're going to do is the swimmer arms, where we lay face down. Let me get a map for this one. All right, so you're going to lay face down. If you have like a towel or something you want to put on the floor, you can. I don't like to put my face on the floor, so my head's going to be raised just a little bit. But you can put a towel right there if needed. So face down, toes stay on the ground. Try to keep your chest to stay on the ground also. So we're going to interlace the fingers on the back of the head, okay? From there, you're going to lift and then extend out in front, then out to the side, and then back to that lower back. But I'll go through it with you guys. We're going to do 10 nice, slow, and controlled. Okay, so that would be 1. So the whole time you're trying to think about lifting the shoulders, okay, don't lift the chest, but lift the shoulders as high as you can when you're out to the sides and rotating, okay? We got 9 more to do, slow and controlled. was 10. Sometimes it's hard to count. All right, once we've done the swimmer arms, we're gonna go 5 per leg scoop deadlifts, okay? So one leg is gonna be out in front, it's gonna be a straight leg, back leg is gonna bend. Okay, we're gonna reach down by hinging at the hip. Okay, so you're sitting back here, and then you're gonna scoop. Gonna go 5 per leg. Okay, so once you've done 5 per leg, we're gonna do 5 per direction. So I'm gonna go out of camera view on this, but I'll come back in. So we're gonna go 5 this way and then 5 coming back, just facing the same way. So I'm always gonna be facing the camera, 5 out and 5 back. It's gonna be over the hurdle, under the hurdle, okay? So since I'm going to the left, I'm gonna start with my left leg, okay? Over, over, and then I'm gonna squat, under. Okay, that's 1. Last thing we're gonna do is 5 per leg reverse lunge lean backs. Okay, so I'm gonna interlace my fingers, I'm gonna reverse lunge, I'm gonna lean back. 5 per leg, 10 total. We're done with the warm-up. I'll show you guys one more time if you're just now joining us. All right, guys, so I'm going to talk about the workout, and then I'll talk about how to measure everything and go over every single detail. But I'm going to show you the workout first. All right. So there's 2 versions. I'm going to go over the equipment version first, and then we will go over the non-equipment version. So it's going to be a 30-minute EMOM. If you haven't downloaded a clock yet, it is the Google search WOD timer. It should be fitlb.com. If you look down the line, the web address is fitlb.com, online timer. That's the one you want to use. So 30-minute EMOM. So you're shooting for these EMOMs 30, no more than 40 seconds of work. It is a sprint and rest type workout. So essentially you're trying to think of like 30 on, 30 off, or 30 to 40 on, 20 to 30 off, that kind of thing. So you want rest. You don't want to turn it into an AMRAP. So if you have to pull back the reps a little bit, that's totally fine. So the first minute is going to be a shuttle run. And it has 15, 30, 45, where you're like, what the heck does that mean? Okay, it's going to be steps, okay? And how I measured it is literally walking. So I start with my foot on the ground and I take my heel to my toe, okay? That would be number 2 step. So this would be number 1 step, this would be number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So I would go out to 15, I'd put a marker down, then I would continue to walk at 30, okay, I would put another marker down, I would continue to walk and count, at 45 I would put my last marker. So it's essentially like the Earn Your Shirt shuttle run, okay, I know it said 5, 10, 15, well most people don't have a way to measure, so this is the best way that I came up with that. So just heel to toe walking, 15 steps out, mark it, 30 steps out, mark it, 45 steps out, mark it. So once you have your 3 markers, okay, you're going to start at the 15, or I mean at the 0, okay, you're going to run to your 15 mark, touch, come back, touch, touch, come back, touch, come back, okay. It's just like we've done for the Earn Your Shirt, it's just the measurements are just a little bit different. So you'll do that twice. So to the 15 and back, to the 30 and back, to the 45 and back is 1. Okay, so you'll do it twice through in that 1 minute time frame. The second minute, it says 30 handstand walk. You can use it as a 30-second handstand walk, or you can walk to the 30 that we just measured off. Okay, so not the first mark, the 15, but the middle mark, the 30. That's where you would handstand walk if you choose to walk. If you choose not to walk, your option is to do a 30-second handstand hold against your house or inside the garage. I would do mine here or here. You can kick up and hold, or you can walk backwards up the wall and hold. You can also do shoulder taps if you want to work on your handstand walking. Facing the wall backwards up the wall and tapping is a little bit easier than if you were to kick up towards the wall and try to tap. So those are different variations you can do to work on your handstand walking. If you're not quite ready to handstand walk yet, you want to start on your wall walks, you can do that. A wall walk is starting face down on the ground in a push-up position, so your feet would be against the wall, okay, and then you're going to walk backwards up the wall as far as you can, and then you walk it back down. That would be 1 rep, okay, you would do 30 seconds worth of that. The other option would be to do 5 walkout push-ups. Walk it out, push up, walk it back in, okay. Another scaled option would be to hold a high plank and to shoulder tap, okay, alternating arms. That would be the other option. So again, you're focusing on that 30 to 40 second window of work, and then getting that 20 to 30 second rest. The third minute is going to be 10 to 12 alternating single arm dumbbell hang clean and jerks. That is a mouthful. Okay, so you'll have your dumbbell. It is going to be from the hang, so it's going to stay above the knee. Okay, you're going to get it to your shoulders by doing a curl, okay, and then overhead. That's 1. Then you would switch, hang, shoulder, overhead. So no matter what, at some point the arm has to stay straight. Okay, so whether you switch like this, that's fine. What you cannot do is switch here. Otherwise, this would just be shoulder to overhead. Okay, so don't forget that clean part. Has to be from here, straight arm to the shoulder, up and overhead. That would be 1. This would be 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay, the 4th minute is going to be 15 to 20 wall balls. Okay, so I have my wall ball here. I can throw it to there. It's not quite exactly 9 feet, but it's pretty darn close. So you can do your wall balls on the outside. I've done mine on the outside of the house also. You can do it inside the house. If you don't want to throw your ball on the inside of the house, I would suggest going outside to do this, because if you're scared you're going to hit the ceiling, especially if you have low ceilings. Okay, it's just going to be like a regular wall ball, except you're just not throwing to a target. So a full squat, toss, full squat, toss, full squat, toss. So do you guys remember me telling you hand, and chin? Okay, so you're in this little tripod position right here. This will be very, very beneficial, especially if you're just throwing it in the air. Okay, here. What happens is people will have this space like this, and this happens. Okay, so then the weight is pulling you forward, and then you'll end up doing this. Chasing your ball, okay? So the goal is to try to stay as upright as possible when you squat. You don't ever want to just bend over here where the chest falls forward, okay? So 15 to 20 of those. When you've done that, the 5th minute is 15 kettlebell swings. We've done these several times. Just briefly, weight in the heels, feet a little bit wider, okay? Shoulders are going to be pulled back. Bell is going to stay right here in this little pocket area. Hips are going to come back first, but chest is going to stay tall. So literally you're pushing your butt back, chest is going to stay tall, weight is in the heels, and then you're going to lock the legs as fast as you possibly can. Okay, and that's what's going to shoot that bell right up in the air. Okay, the bottom of the bell should be straight in the air overhead, okay, with arms locked, butt is squeezed at the top, everything should be nice and in line. Okay, so the more aggressive you are with the legs and locking those legs, okay, the more power you're going to get from up here. Okay, the less you do this, the more lax you are in your legs and your lower body, the more arms you're using. Okay, we want to use their legs. This is a butt and hamstring movement. Okay, kettlebell swings. So again, shuttle run is the first one. Handstand walk, handstand hold, wall walks, push-ups, shoulder taps, all of that is number 2. Number 3 is the single arm clean and jerks. Okay, must come to the shoulder and overhead each rep. Next one is wall balls, okay, 15 to 20, and then the last one is 15 kettlebell swings. Okay, that is the equipment version. Non-equipment version, okay. Shuttle run is the same. You're going to walk out 15, 30, 45, mark them all off. You're doing 2 shuttle runs. Handstand is the same. If you can handstand walk, handstand walk. If you want to handstand hold against the wall, you can do that. Plank, taps, wall walks, whatever you guys want to do on that one. The third one is kind of the only one that's kind of weird. You can use an odd object, so if you have a water bottle filled with water, you can use that as your clean and jerks, okay? If you don't have that option at all, or you want to do something different, I gave the option to do 8 to 12 burpees with a little bit of a jump, okay? So all the way, chest and neck touch the ground, burpee at the top. 8 to 12 of those. The 4th minute is 15 to 20 jump squats, okay? So I just want little jumps on these, so almost like a pulse. Okay, so 15 to 20 of those in tray for the wall ball if you don't have one. The 5th minute is going to be 30 seconds worth of plank up downs. Okay, so you'll start in a high plank position. Okay, and then you'll go to the elbows, and then up to the hands. Okay, that's the 30 seconds of plank up downs. Now if you can't do that, just hold plank for 30 seconds. That's also fine. Got hot in here. Questions on these? Can you use a med ball for clean and jerks? Yeah, I don't know why not. That'd be great. I'm gonna go over I'm gonna open the garage, sorry. I hope I don't make y'all sick. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over the walk for you again, in case it's kind of confusing on as far as measurement. So I'm going to come out here on the sidewalk. So I'm going to start at this line right here. Okay, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to set a little marker. Okay. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Set another marker. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45. Okay. So there's my markers. Okay. So whenever you run for the shuttle run, go back to my mark over here. Okay, so I would run, touch, run back, touch, back, and so on. Sorry, I'm losing connection, so I'm going to have to come back in. Hopefully that kind of gave you guys a little bit of idea on how to do the counting part of the shuttle run. Does anybody have questions on that? All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and set up for the stretching now. So just give me a few minutes and I'll get it all set up. So today's the long stretching session. So it's 49 minutes long. So just bear with me on this one.
Hey, this is Steph Gaudreau from from Stupid Easy Paleo. I'm so excited that you're joining me for today's Ramwat Warrior Workout. It's gonna be a good one, so let's go.
Thank you, Steph. We really do appreciate you joining us today to perform these positions for everyone. So with that, just know that as Steph finds her place in the pose, that's very unique to her body and her abilities. So although she is our guide, make sure that you find your own place within the pose. And also knowing that these routines are a lot more intense as far as duration. There's a need to be more patient, more persevering, more accepting of where you end up in these positions. So really challenging all those different qualities and attributes, even on a mental level. So with that, everyone, let's begin. We are going to start in a saddle pose. So the saddle pose, I'd like you to set up for it. This will be a 3-minute saddle position. So make sure that you're not going too far too soon. You don't want to be overwhelmed. You want to make sure that it's challenging but still comfortable. This is a passive approach, so stay relaxed. The saddle position will now be a 3-minute hold. You are now passing your halfway point. Alright, ease your body out of the saddle position. Take your time. It's a long time to be in that first saddle pose. So very slow transition to get out of it. Let's make our way to a seated forward fold. Now this is again a difficult combo. We just went from leaning back, if you chose to lean back, and now we're doing the complete opposite movement on the spine where we're folded in. So give your body again time. You don't need to go to the deepest place right away. This seated forward fold will also be for 3 minutes now. crossing your halfway point. Stay calm, stay patient. You gotta give this time. Now the time is up, so come on out of this pose. Transition to your hands and your knees, and go ahead and start to set up for an extended arm lizard on the right leg forward. So let me give you a few moments just to get yourself situated. This extended arm lizard, right leg forward, spine long, arms reaching, will be a 2-minute held position. So let's stay here passively now for 2 minutes. You have 1 more minute for this pose. Now keep your right leg where it is and come into a basic lizard from here. The forearms come down, the spine rounds, the stomach is soft, the face is calm. This basic lizard position can be done with your foot flat and knee squared in, or you can lean on your right foot right edge and let your knee flare away from your body. Either way, give me 2 more minutes. this point, the option is to either add the twisted variation, you bend your left leg and your right hand goes back to grabbing, or just stay in the same basic lizard. 2 more minutes. You are still 1 minute out from this pose being done. Alright, the time is up, so now completely exit the pose. I want you to start to make your way to a frog for the next position, so just take a few moments to get there. Take your time, a nice slow transition. Now the frog can be tricky with the knees, so very important that you have either 1, a cushy mat, or 2, you have towels or something soft underneath your knees. We don't want the irritation of the compression against the ground. So this frog position is a growing target, and the gentle, subtle shift of the butt back towards the feet, for most people, really makes this pose most optimal. So if that feels good for you, subtly shift your butt back towards your feet, but still relax in the groin. This will be a nice, long 3-minute hold. You still have one last minute for this frog pose. Try to stay soft, stay calm in the mind. Now let's exit the frog, and a lot of times just shift forward, lighten. Okay, you're out of the frog position. Take your time again. I want to emphasize that because it's important that in these warrior routines, you're just kind of cruising from one pose to the next. But let's set up now for the extended arm lizard on the left side. So please set up for that. With your left foot forward, your spine long. Try to relax gently into the targets. And let's stay here for 2 minutes. You still have 1 more minute for this pose. Now keep in the same leg position, come into our basic lizard position, the rounded back, the stomach heavy, the face calm. This basic lizard position can be done with that knee flared out, or again, your leg just kind of tightens your body. Whatever feels optimal to you. Give me 2 more minutes. And still 1 more minute left. very same pose with the option for the twisted variation. So make a decision to either stay in the same pose or add the twisted variation, but we still have 2 minutes. And still 1 last minute. Again, please come out of the position. And as we exit the twisted lizard, we are going to repeat our frog position. The frog position again, gentle with the knees, but make sure you feel nice sensation in the groin group. That subtle shifting of the butt back, but you're using your upper body to shift and you're not actually squeezing in your lower body to get that. This frog again can be 3 long minutes. Two more minutes to go here. And now you just have 1 last minute. shift out of the frog again, very carefully. And take your time to go into a seated straddle for our next pose. Seated straddle, growing and lower back targets. So if you need to use props, please get those props and use them. This is a passive, relaxed position. Nothing is being squeezed or pushed on. This will be a long 5-minute position now. Give me 5 minutes. Crossing the halfway point, please stay for another 2.5 minutes. And gentle from here, the time is up. So start to exit the pose again. Alright everyone, as we come out of the seated straddle, we are going to repeat our saddle pose for another time. So please step back up into a saddle pose. Now it's nice when we start with the saddle and then later on, very, very later on in the routine, like now, we repeat the position. You can really see how the body has rendered and yielded with the time that you spent doing these positions. So here we are for a second look at our saddle pose. Give me 3 minutes. Two minutes are done. One last minute to go for the saddle. The time is up for the saddle, so I want you to come on out of the pose. And from here, just lie down on the ground, lying down on your back. So take a moment to find that position, just completely relaxed. Now, just a very easy pose here, our supine twist. So squeeze your right knee to your body, let your right arm over to the right wall, palm down. Use your left hand to pull your right knee to the ground towards the left. And though it doesn't need to actually touch the ground, just towards the ground. This supine twist, right leg over towards the left, will be a nice long 3 minutes. Please stay in the pose passively for one last minute. And time is up, so please now change to your other side. This supine twist, left leg pulls towards the right, will also be a nice 3-minute hold. Your spine, torso, your upper body, it's a wonderful position to finish with. Give me 3 minutes. You have 2 minutes done. You have 1 last minute to go. And the time is up for this position, so we're going to come all the way out of the pose, and now we're just going to lie down for the rebound. Everyone, the rebound is an important position within the routine. It's where you lie down, close your eyes, and indulge in how you're feeling, the openness, the space, the quietness that you've created. It truly is a fantastic place to be. So stay here for 5 minutes if you have the time, and if you have longer, I recommend stay for longer. Ultimately, thanks for doing the routine. A special thanks again to